Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest from Marlborough today. We have a very double-talented young lady with us, Kathy Quinton. Welcome back, Kathy. She's been with us before. She is now a children's author, and she wrote the book, The Adventures of Quint the Bookmobile. This is adorable. It's also, she's going to show you, also in hardcover for kids. She's going to show you. Hold that one up. There you go.
The hardcover version?
Yep, you got both.
Yes.
And you have another one coming up, you said, too, following this?
I do. The second adventure, Quint's second adventure, will be out in April.
Okay.
We're just wrapping it up right now.
I think, did you get that, Paul? It's really, okay, this is the soft cover, and that's her hardcover.
This is the hardcover.
And Kathy is also the CEO of Quintessential Coaching. I don't know where to begin. She's so talented. Oh, before I forget, I didn't color it yet. I thought I might give it to my granddaughter.
That's for your granddaughter.
But then again, maybe I'll color it with her. I love to color. I love it. You know how they have those adult coloring books now?
Yes.
Oh, God. I'm good for hours. But it's Quint the Bookmobile. And
Barnabas the Big Brown Dog is running up, and the next book coming out, this is actually from book 2.
Yeah.
You have a coloring sheet from book 2. And that book's title is Barnabas Rides in Style. So it's the Big Brown Dog is Barnabas, and Barnabas Rides in Style. This is the big move to Ronyville.
And you have an illustration who is Eminent
Systems, a team that illustrates for me.
How cool is that?
Yeah, and Miss Morris, the librarian, when she goes back to the big red shop, the big dog jumps into the bookmobile and will not budge. So that's where the story begins.
Oh,
and then she has nothing left to do but to take the big brown dog with her on the adventure.
I think a lot of children's authors, I have not yet met a children's author who is doing what Kathy is doing. Great idea for the kids while you're giving your presentation.
Coloring sheets.
They're focused, right? And they're listening. I know that when I've been in business meetings, I'm doodling. Especially if I see those doggone PowerPoints. For some reason, I'm like, I don't want it, I don't need it. Just talk to me. I'll write down what you're saying. I'd rather have you looking at me.
Right.
I just start where the PowerPoints come up. Now, first of all, when did you start your book, your Quinton book? Your Quinton.
I started this book, I want to say last April.
Yeah.
And this book was published in November 2018. I actually think of it as just this year because it was just so recent.
Yeah.
And so it was maybe a little bit earlier, maybe January.
And the next one's coming out?
The next April.
Wow.
We're wrapping up right now. The illustrations are half finished, and the book has been written, and there's all the little pieces together, the Library of Congress number, the PCIP, which is your cataloging page for libraries.
Is that the ISBN?
The ISBN is an identifier number that every book, every version of every book has to have an ISBN.
Are you self-published?
I am self-published.
That's a good way to go. Where have you appeared? Where have you been? Well, you're from Marlborough. Have you been to that wonderful Marlborough Children's part at the library?
I haven't. I have been to the Hudson, and I've read the book there, and it was a lot of fun. I haven't been to Marlborough yet. I actually coach, and I've been delving into finishing up the second book, and I have a good-sized family, so I've been keeping myself busy, and I'm a little strategic this time around with the children's books, and I hope to have a couple or 3 and then really get out there and hopefully spread the word.
Yeah, have them in the series. Now, besides the book, Quintessential Coaching, tell us when you started this.
Oh, I started life coaching. I started life coaching about 5 years ago, and I really love it. I love working and helping people feel more empowered and helping people get to where they want to get to. I think of coaching when my clients come to me, we talk about everyone wants to know how a coach can help them.
Yeah.
And basically, this is the state we're in, and this is our desired state where we want to be. And there's a gap in the middle, and that's where coaching comes in. Coaching works in the gap and helps people go from where they are to where they want to be. And people are resilient and they're strong and they're good enough and they're capable, and sometimes we all need a team. Yeah. We all need mentors. We all need role models. So I love it.
How do they find you, Kath?
My website. They find me through networking. I'm also, my website is quintessentialcoaching.com. My email is Kathy with a K at quintessential-coaching.com. I also will be coaching for a wellness center, Synergy Wellness Center in Hudson, Mass, which is kind of exciting for me because it's just a beautiful facility that's opened up in Hudson. Mm-hmm. It's highly, highly rated, and the owner is phenomenal. And I can coach there, and there's all different kinds of practitioners, wellness practitioners around that everyone can feed off of.
So it's Quintessential Coaching, the business, but you like to make sure people know you as a quintessential life coach.
I am a life coach. I also, life coach, why I say life coach, I'm very strong, I would say, in empowerment, but I say life coach because I have a business background, and my husband has a business, so I do I love strategies, and I love helping people, build their businesses. Mm-hmm. I've worked with nonprofits. That is of interest to me. Mm-hmm. And also I'm highly in tune to wanting people to feel better about themselves. So I have that little helicopter view that we all like to have on things.
You've got two different things going, life coaching, and then you wrote a children's book.
Yes. How do I put it together?
Yeah.
Well, I also wrote a coaching book that I published my adult coaching book a couple years ago.
I think you gave me a copy.
I did, excuse me. And I'm actually republishing that. That's in the works for this year. That will be coming out again and relaunched under a new title, and I'm expanding it. Mm-hmm. And the children's part of it is I have 6 grandchildren. I raised 3 children. I adore children, so it's a fun thing. And this book, as you can see, is about reading. Yeah. The keys of knowledge, and that had a theme. The first one has a theme of bravery. The second one has a theme of friendship. Yeah. So when you think of with life coaching, I love good quality things to go out there, and emotions are a part of that. And these, bravery and courage, and he's stepping out in the big world and delivering keys and has a mission, and that's all part of coaching. That's all part of what we do with people.
We are talking with Kathy Quinton. She wears 2 hats. She is the CEO of Quintessential Coaching, life coach, and she's also a children's author, The Adventures of Quint the Bookmobile. When you do the coaching, you mentioned the key here, a lot of wellness centers. There's a lot of them popping up now.
We need them.
I know. Now, where do you begin? I mean, you have to do where they are. They'd love to have you come.
Well, there's one I'll be working with in Hudson, and it's Synergy Wellness in Hudson, Mass, and it's phenomenal, and it's fairly new, and it's doing amazingly well because people need to start taking better care of themselves. Self-care is a must. Everyone's go, 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 and the results of go, go, go is health falling apart, and people want to kind of just relax and have a little bit more of a balanced life. And I think the wellness centers and the practitioners out there are amazing.
Can people come to your home office?
Oh, yes.
You have an office at home. Okay.
I will definitely work with people in my home, usually people I know. Yeah. I work via Skype all the time.
Sure.
You do the Skype? I'm on Skype almost daily.
So people find you through that, too. Mm-hmm. I don't understand Skype yet. People can be at any distance, and you can see their face.
I'm with someone from Uruguay, once a month.
How did that person hear about
you? Through coaching. She's a coach as well.
And she needs you.
I have different skill sets. We all have our superpowers. All of us do. Yeah. I can't be in any room that I don't know that everybody in that room has a superpower. The thing is, we want them to know it. So, isn't that so true? That
is so true. I know when I sat in on for many years, a voluntary group, and the paid group leaders didn't have a clue that you don't just let one person in the voluntary group take over and be the star child. You've got to look at every single person in there, what talent, what brought them in, and include them. I finally left I stuck it out for about 5 years, and I said, you know something? What's the point?
Really?
And I got sick of the PowerPoints, too. Suddenly it was becoming very financial, and it had nothing to do with that. And it was a humanitarian.
Nonprofit?
It was a humanitarian group, and I'm like, this is not why I signed up for this gig. They got the wrong fortune cookie, because I could care less about the finances here,
Right.
Unless you want me to help host a fundraiser, cool, I'll do that. I'll volunteer for that.
You'd be amazing at that. I have been in the nonprofit world, and one of the bottom lines of the board, if you were on the board, one of our roles I have sat on a couple boards, and our role really is financial.
Yeah, well,
we have the organization has the mission.
Mm-hmm.
We are the board of directors' role is to make sure that we're fiscally helping the organization and watching the money. Things go off the rails if there isn't a board to do that.
For the reason we were
You'd be a creative powerhouse, though, for an organization.
The reason we joined, it was a big group from all over Massachusetts at this particular hospital, and the reason we joined was because we had all had either had experiences, wonderful medical help there, or a family member had. And I thought, great, and to help, help brighten the lives of patients going there, contribute, volunteer,
Wonderful.
whatever. I did a thing for a year, a gig where I would greet everybody coming in the front entrance. But when it began to, like, as you say, go off the rails, and then one volunteered because he was so terrific with techie.
Mm-hmm.
He became their little halo child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is not right. This is not cool. You're ignoring all the other people in this group. A good leader gets what they can from each person.
True.
So each person feels important.
True.
And I could see people sitting there just not saying anything. I'm like, are they thinking what I... And they were, and they left. They were dropping out.
Right.
And I saw this.
Everyone needs to feel appreciated for their gifts. Everyone has gifts, and
you could bring that out in someone, right?
I think
definitely.
so.
Yeah.
I hope so, and I have had I've had some nice success with my clients.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this now?
About 5 years.
She's been 5 years. And
A little less than 5 years. I worked at a historic site in Sudbury for a number of years, and I climbed the ropes there, as did all the management team, and we wore every hat.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate to have certain positions, and I ended my career director of sales and then director of development. And it was when I became director of development that I started working with nonprofit boards and trying to create awareness that the site I was working at and representing was a nonprofit that had been kept under wraps, which was silly because people help take care of nonprofits.
Do you have a favorite that you do? Do you have a favorite working one-on-one with laymen, or going to corporation or wherever and helping that way?
That's a really good question, because I can get jazzed about both.
Yeah.
If I'm I worked with someone this morning. Actually, we're kind of accountability buddies in writing, and she's writing a book on self-health and parenting, and she's phenomenal, and her writing is phenomenal. And she just kind of we were talking about this, her writing, and basically she is an information junkie, and there's nothing that she can't research or find out. She's just as sharp as can be. And my little comments to her is, I want to know a little bit about you. I want your voice there a little bit. That's if I'm reading your book, I want to know and like you. I want to trust you. And a lot of people don't have that mentality. Someone that's very linear might just give me the answers.
Yeah, sure.
But there's all, her target audience, I think, wants a little bit.
How would people get your book, Kathy?
Amazon. You can go on to Amazon and you look up Kathleen Quinton. I call myself Kathy. That's the name I've used my whole life, but I was born with the name Kathleen, so it's Kathleen Quinton, and The Adventures of Quint the Bookmobile will come up if you type that in, and I will soon have a second one.
How about your coaching book?
My coaching book will be coming out again this year, and it will be on Amazon and other places.
When is it going to be out? I want to see it.
That one, the coaching book again, or the second
the coaching book again.
The coaching book will be out to be conservative. I would say I'll have that out in the fall. And it's mostly written, so it just has to be expanded. I will have a new cover, new title.
Yeah.
And
that's so super. Let me know, okay? Because
I will.
This girl was too happy. A children's book author as well as a life coaching type of thing. How far will you go? If somebody here is watching and, boy, I could use a life coach, how far would you travel to meet them? Or
It would depend on the client. It would depend on what they wanted to work on. I work with their agendas. All of my clients have something they want, and sometimes when they start coaching, they realize they came for a certain agenda, and then they find out they really want something else.
Yeah.
When they start digging deep, doing some processes, talking, it's wonderful to hold someone up. What a coach does is we hold their space till they know they're good enough to do it. They're fabulous enough to do it, that they've got this.
Yeah. Do you give presentations, Kathy?
Sometimes.
Okay,
So I will be doing that March 24th at Synergy Wellness in Hudson, Mass.
What street are they on, Kathy?
Main Street in Hudson.
What
Synergy
time?
Wells. I don't know the time, but I could get back to you on that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's going to be March 24th?
March 24th. Synergy Wellness in Hudson, Mass.
Okay.
I will be doing a workshop with another coach, and it's all on clarity and finding your purpose and taking action steps. And this particular process I almost do with 99% of my clients, and it's pretty phenomenal.
Okay, so is that a Saturday, Sunday? What day of the week is that?
I believe it's a Sunday.
Okay, that's cool too.
I have it just on my calendar.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't start in the morning, does it?
No, it's not in the morning. It's in the afternoon. I want to say 1 or 2.
Okay. Is there a fee?
There is a fee. It's $40.
Okay, for the whole.
It will be 90 minutes. It will be with 2 coaches, and it's I think it's going to be it will start with the other coach will start with a meditation, just to get everyone in sync and to kind of get everyone in tune, and then we'll do some strength work, some empowerment work, just a little bit, go right into clarity process, which is pretty phenomenal. We'll have a question and answer period.
Yeah.
And but a group like this, you get very tight with quickly.
Yeah.
And you're all there to support each other, and it's very confidential and very wonderful, and people grow from it.
You have the main people that come in, the group that comes in, and then do you split into 2 different groups?
Depending on the size.
Okay.
That would depend on the size. We're not planning on doing that right now, but if it became, too large.
Pre-registration? Is that necessary?
It's a good idea to register.
How would they do that?
At Synergy Wellness in Hudson.
Okay.
They could look up their website, look up the telephone number, and be in touch and sign right up. Go, like their Facebook page and start following them, because it's an incredible wellness center.
The 24th, March 24th. It's on a Sunday, and it's in the afternoon. How many hours?
90 minutes, hour and a half.
Oh, okay. I thought it was all afternoon.
No.
Okay, 90 minutes. That's good. So we don't have to worry about being hungry for dinner.
No. It's not a retreat. It's not a retreat.
No.
I've done a couple of those. They're fun. They last long, and you have to eat.
Yeah, and the way that they sometimes set up food is like I'm hungry way before they're ready to feed me. So sometimes I'll bring little peanut butter crackers and juice.
Good idea.
Yeah,
Always a good idea.
I don't want to feel like this by the time I get to the food.
Always a good idea.
Now,
I'm a believer in that.
Again, how do they reach you both for your book, The Adventures of Quint, the Bookmobile? How do they reach you for that?
Well, this Quint, the Bookmobile, you can find on Amazon, and it's a little adventure about a bookmobile that starts to come to life, and all the adventures, the characters. There's Miss Morris, the librarian, and she wants to. Trammell Library actually purchased this is Miss Morris, the librarian. She works for Trammell Library, and their motto is to get books in the hands of everyone, everywhere. So it's a cute little book. These are pictures and illustrations of traveling libraries back in the day and in other parts of the world.
Yeah.
This is still going on in parts of the world. And we are lucky to live in Massachusetts, where bookmobiles are considered, wonderful to have. And we have a lot of towns in Massachusetts that bring them to their community. It's
Isn't there a
wonderful
huge
resource.
one? Is it Natick or Newton?
Natick and Framingham's having one built right now, and Worcester just launched.
They did.
Worcester in, I believe it was December, launched a big one. They
Where?
purchased a big one.
Where?
At City Hall, they had a big,
And you could just walk right in. It stops and it walks right. You walk
Well,
in.
bookmobiles. Are you from? Did you grow up with a bookmobile?
No, I don't think so.
See, I grew up with bookmobile.
We
I grew
had
up
a
in
library.
Framingham.
Yeah.
And we had library as well. Certain communities that are large and have the need to get books into everyone's hands everywhere.
Yeah.
If they have a bookmobile, it's a wonderful resource for people that can't get to the library. That it just is. It's a wonderful concept. So when I grew up, we had a bookmobile that came down the street.
Yeah, Framingham's a lot bigger than Wilbraham. And
Framingham was, when I grew up, it's now a city just
Yeah.
recently, but
Yeah.
when I grew up, it was the largest town in the country.
Oh,
So-
no. Well, to you, I grew up in the western part. And there's this
Right.
little town, Wilbraham. So,
It's- It's such a treat.
Yeah.
And people, I romanticized the bookmobile. It was fun. It was better than going to the zoo. It was exciting. Run down the street, climb into the bookmobile. You have a relationship with the librarian. They're helping you pick out a book for your book report. Your buddies in the neighborhood are there. They go to assisted living homes now. They go all over.
Senior centers.
Senior centers. They're in schools. They help schools in rural areas that they just can't purchase the books themselves.
Right.
The library is a resource for them, and it can go to them.
Yeah.
It's just it's a wonderful thing. So I romanticized it, and I'm just having fun writing about characters and where it can go, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Have you heard of those things, Kathy, where I've seen them? I think some people give up on it, but it's the cutest idea. In front of your house, by the sidewalk, you can have like a wooden, it looks like a birdhouse, but it's not. People donate books, and then they can take them as they walk by or put some more in.
That's nice. You have that here at this library, don't you? No, that's in Natick.
No,
I'm sorry,
that's in
Natick has it.
yeah.
Natick has it, and
But people in front of your home, I've seen it in Milford.
it's nice. I didn't know that.
They had it in front of the home, but there was no books in it the other day. Looks like somebody forgot it. I think it's really cool. I mean, I've got so many books I could put a bunch in. But the idea is you don't have to. But if you take one, or whatever, try to bring one too. You kind of like to fill it.
Absolutely.
With your book, Kathy, The Adventures of Quint, the bookmobile, I would think schools would be great, right?
Right. A school visit. I hope to do some school visits. I've been doing that all along without having my own book.
Yeah.
I've been going into schools and reading to children.
Yeah.
I have 6 grandchildren. If I'm invited into any one of their schools, I run. It's just an exciting. I would suggest that everyone, no matter how busy your schedule is, go read to children in schools. You come alive.
Yeah.
You just come alive, and you just see their eyes they get so excited to have a new guest there, and mystery readers. All of that is phenomenal.
Also, UMass Memorial Medical Center has a separate children's hospital within it. I'm thinking of that. That's my job. I think where I can get different authors in. Also, even in Boston, Children's Medical Center. Definitely, you've got a captive, wonderful audience. And these kids can't get out to the library.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to allow a bookmobile in. I don't know if they have book trucks that they may bring in for the children, but I know at UMass they have those, like, at the end of each corridor. I think they have like a little lobby room. And I went in one time when I was volunteering, and I saw all the toys and all the fun stuff. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. They had a room, but where I grew up at your Springfield Hospital, I remember it just looked kind of barren. But nowadays, your parents couldn't even visit you for more than an hour back then. An hour from like 7 to 8. I was petrified. I was there a week. I'm like,
How old were you? Do you remember?
oh, I was 6.
That's so young.
Oh, no, it was horrible.
Now parents stay.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if they can.
I could stay with my husband if I want.
Right.
They don't
right.
they're happy to have somebody there. The staff is very open-minded.
It's kind of traumatizing for a little 6-year-old.
Oh, it was not fun, especially the kids. We were in 2, 3, or 4 of us in the same room. And one little girl
Feeding off each other's energy, and you're afraid for this one, and you need to be afraid. Yeah, it's a lot it's a lot to ask for a 6-year-old.
I got teased because I had a stuffed animal, and I guess the other little girls thought that was just too chicken. And I'm like, what's wrong with this stuffed animal? Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing when you're 6 years old, and nothing now if you want to cuddle with something. Who cares?
Kathy, where did you hail from? Where did you?
I grew up in Framingham, Mass, so I'm local. I haven't gone far at all, and I live in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and I love our community.
Yeah, I mean, she goes to the Hudson Library.
I do. I love it. I love Hudson Library. I've brought 2 of my grandchildren there on a pretty regular basis. We've done story hours, and it's been phenomenal.
I can think of so many places where they'd love
We'll
you.
have to keep talking. We'll stay in touch.
They would absolutely. Oh God, there's so Northborough Library, some of the libraries. I look at their children's rooms, and I think, let's see, what do they have here? Do they have the speaker room? Have you been to Tatnuck yet?
Yes, a couple times,
Okay.
and I've been invited back. Jean Curran is.
Isn't she great?
She is great. She's phenomenal, and she's already booked me. There's National Library Week in April.
Yeah.
And during National Library Week, one of the days is National Bookmobile Day.
Yeah.
So she's booked me that week.
Oh, perfect.
For the second book.
Have you been up to the Book Lovers Gourmet in Webster? Deb Horan?
No, I'll have to do that.
She's got the coziest, very popular bookstore up there.
I think I've read about it, to tell you the truth. I think there was a big article about it a couple months ago. Am I correct?
I send a lot of authors up there. She's a sweetheart.
In Webster, okay.
In Webster, right off Route 16, I think.
Cafe. She has a lot going on. Very, very cool.
Cozy.
Cool.
Very,
okay.
very cozy. Not ostentatious at all.
Well, that would be fun. That would be fun to go
You
to.
would have a good. Before we close,
okay.
Kathy, how can they get a copy again of your book?
Amazon. Go to Amazon and you can look up, just Google, go to Amazon Books and type in The Adventures of Quinton the Bookmobile. He will pop up.
Also, how do they get you for some life coaching?
If you'd like to be in touch with me for life coaching, my email is Kathy with a K at quintessential-coaching.com.
Did you bring any business cards with you?
I do have some
We
business
have. I always
cards.
tell guests we have right down here, downstairs in the lobby. We have a big section of bulletin boards. Use it.
I have my business cards will be here at the library also.
As well as her book. And then she has a
as well
coaching
as my
book coming up, another one coming out.
Yes, the coaching book will be coming out, I hope, in the fall, and I expect it will.
Something to look forward to over the summer, right? That'll be fun. Thanks, Kathy. But
Thank
she'll be
you.
back, believe me. She will be here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Jan.
You're
It's such a pleasure
It's
being
a lot
with
of
you.
fun. We'll see you next time and be my guest.